negative habits, common negative habits we have. I'm discussing, talking, sharing with you all these days. I've already discussed a few of them. In continuation, I feel there's another negative habit we all have, and that is known as called withholding information. My friends, in the age of knowledge workers, information explosion, the cliche that information is power is true than ever before, which makes withholding information even more so irritating and counterproductive and disheartening. Intentionally withholding information is the opposite of adding value, my friend. We do not add any value to any functioning by withholding information. We are simply deleting the information. Yet it has the same purpose, and that is to gain power. It's the same old need to win, only more devious, and it appears in more forms than merely playing our cards and close to our vests. You see it. It is a people who engage in the withholding information. They are always worried, and they do not achieve the kind of synergy they are expected to achieve. The people who engage in the virtue of keeping a secret, they use it as an excuse to leave you out of some purpose or something in a vogue. They believe revealing anything puts them at a disadvantage. You are in its passive aggressive incarnation in people who don't return you your phone calls even, or answer your emails, or only give partial answers to your queries or questions. It is all the forms of withholding information, nothing else. If you don't understand why it annoys people, reflect on how you will feel about the certain things, like a meeting. You are going in a meeting, and you weren't told about that you are supposed to be attending the meeting. Just imagine. A memo or email, you weren't even copied on. A moment when you were the last person to learn about anything in a meeting, and you are sitting simply quiet. All these things are very annoying. The problem with not sharing information, my friend, for whatever reason, is that it really achieves the desired effect. You may think you are gaining an edge and consolidating power, but you are actually breeding mistrust. In order to have power, my friend, you need to inspire loyalty rather than fear and suspicion. Basic. Withholding information is nothing more than a misplaced need to win. What I am describing, talking here, is not just the willful, poison-sowing refusal to share information. The way people behave when they want to divide and conquer. I'm not sure I have that skill or patience to alert the, I would call it the Machiavellian behavior. No. What I would prefer to focus on are all the unintentional or accidental ways we withhold information. We do this when we are too busy to get back to someone with valuable information. We do this when we forget to include someone in our discussions or our meetings or our get-togethers. We do this when we delete a task to our subordinates, but don't take the time to show them how exactly we want the task to be done. And we leave it to their imagination and suffer. The whole institution, organization suffers. I'll give you a small example. One of my neighbor asked his teenage son to wash his newly acquired SUV. His son pulled out the water hose, filled a bucket with soapy water, and went to work with a sponge. And the problem was, the sponge was one of those two-sided designs, one side scratchy, the other soft. By the time the father came out to inspect the results, the son had scrubbed away a good deal of his shining SUV's enamel finish. There were scratches all over. The SUV, once gleaming surface, looked like an ice skating rink after a hockey game. Just imagine. And obviously the father was enraged, outraged. His brand new shining SUV has just been ruined in front of him. How could his son be so stupid? And suddenly he was quiet and calm. He said, "Don't you know how to do something as simple as washing a car?" He asked his son between the snorts of rage. But as my neighbor thought about it, and as he saw that his son was embarrassed and petrified, he said something wise there itself, and I was listening. "Son, I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at myself, because I should have told you how to do this job properly, how it is to be done. I never taught you how to wash a car, and that's my fault." My friend, whenever tension comes to you over that scene in the family driveway, is that moment instantly disappeared when my neighbor realized that he had left some vital information out of his son's basic education. The case of withholding information unintentionally. The son felt relieved. The father was no longer upset, either at his son or at the sorry condition of his SUV. It's not a running family joke whenever someone sees a sponge and the case is discussed and everybody's just simply laughs it out. My friend, more often than not, we don't withhold information out of malice. We do it because we are clueless, simply clueless, casual, careless. That's a good thing. Willful maliciousness is not a flaw that we can't fix here. But it is easy to change. It's not that we want to keep people in dark. It's simply that we are too busy, I would say. We mean, well, we have good intentions, but we fail to get around to it. As a result, we become bad at sharing information. Now the question comes, if that's the case, if withholding information is not deliberate, it is not maliciously done, sometimes yes, then the question comes, how do you stop withholding information? And my simple answer is, and simple practice is, start sharing it. My friends, in doing so, you will not only improve your communication, but you will be proving that you care about your co-workers, colleagues, subordinates, friends, relatives, and family members. It will be much more easier to function, my friend, without as a team, without committing avoidable mistakes, and certainly achieving synergy. Get over this habit. You will be more effective. Thank you very much.